So first of all, I want to say it's awesome to see you back, man. I remember watching you in MFC on Access TV like every Friday nights, back before I was even in this, not to make you sound old, but
that's okay.
yeah, but no, it's just cool to see this again, and this might be a dumb question, but this is one and done, right? Just this moment.
No, it's not one and done. I'm going for the title at 155.
All right.
And if I lose, that's going to inspire him to go and fight even more. Ain't no one and done. I'm healthy. I'm young. At heart, I didn't take any damage in any of my career. I fought a very smart career because I knew this was going to happen. My son said at 5, 6, 7 years old he wanted to fight with me on the same card. I got involved in the political parts of the sport. I was, kind of blackballed a little bit. Then my style of fighting didn't help. But you know what? I'm glad and everything is working itself out. And I'm in the best place and I'm in the best physique I can be in physically.
Yeah, and you kind of mentioned that, but I wanted to ask, are you kind of happy that things in the end worked out? The UFC, one fight only, split decision, close fight, lose it. But if they didn't get rid of you, then you probably, maybe, who knows, if you would have this moment here. Is it kind of work out that way?
You know what? I look at things as everything happens because it's supposed to happen. I chose this path to get in a cage and fight. I didn't choose the haters. I didn't choose the politics. I didn't choose to be black or white. And unfortunately, I'm a very strong humanity type of person when I feel things aren't fair. So I was always speaking up to what's right and what's wrong. And of course, Dana didn't like me, and I don't like Dana because you're still a human being. And that doesn't mean that you can discredit or treat somebody any different because you think you have power or money. And that's just the type of person that I am.
Totally respectable, I'd say. I touched on the MFC, one of the many places you spent your career at. Just curious if you have a fondest memory that kind of sticks out more than the others, from the previous fights.
What I remember is just like I said, man. Maybe it was because I was such an intimidating person, the way I carried myself. But just shit's never been fair. It's always been some funny style stuff, and the way I left was wrong. But unfortunately, I told him he would be out of business in a year, and he was out of business in a year. You just don't do people dirty, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I fight for the people who don't fight for themselves.
Of course. So we all need one of those, I think. So, and you made your debut in 1999, professional debut against Shannon Rich. Shannon is also still fighting. I think he might be doing some bare knuckle stuff, but he just fought recently. And I just wanted to mention that because, he's also an OG. But I just want to know how, from your perspective, how crazy is it to see the sport change the way that it has over the years?
Well, I still have the same outlook. It's still entertainment. It's not a sport yet. Yes, we see it as a sport, but it's not a sport until there's a union behind it, until there's some type of financial structure set up for these fighters. And that's where I got in all the trouble, is that I was trying to set this up for these fighters. But the type of money that they're making now, it's definitely time to call it a sport, put a union together, lay the foundation, and make it right.
Yeah, and I actually was just asking Gegard about union because, Leslie Smith was signed. I'm sure you're familiar with her story. That's a big thing she's advocating for. Do you think we could see a union soon, or
I think it's going to happen, but I think it's going to take some young guns up and coming to set tone for that. Us old school guys, we know the outcome. You go and you look at all the guys that I fought with, Mark Kerr, all those old school guys, Mark Coleman. You look at where they're at right now. Look at what's happening to them. They're doing fundraisers and GoFundMe programs on social media because they're so messed up, because there's no compensation for the injuries that they received. I don't want my son to be part of that, and that's one of the reasons why I've trained him the way he's been trained.
Yeah, definitely. And, last thing I'll leave you with here, it's kind of hard to focus, knowing that your son's going to be fighting before you, or, to worry about your fight more so than his, or how do you balance it? No?
Man, I have nothing to prove. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to do what you've always seen me do. I'm going to take this guy down and I'm going to pound his ass out. Hopefully he gives up, and if he doesn't give up, I'm going to do it for 15 minutes. I don't have a problem with that. But I really don't want to fight that long. I want to get this shit over in the first round. I'm going to be honest with you.
Hey, who doesn't, right? All right, Antonio. Thanks so much, man. Best of luck. Great to see you back.